But so it looks like they're gonna lock in the same thing, and I'll go back to their starting positions, and we'll resume in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to set up around the high ground once again. Hop in with Blaze, and as of right now, everything's working okay, so let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah. So a common strat that is used on this map is called the pirate ship,
Yeah, yeah.
where you have a Bastion as your main damage dealer, and then you have either 1 or 2 shields with the Reinhardt, Orisa, or even a Zarya sometimes, and your healers are basically just focused on healing the Bastion, and looks like we don't have that.
Ooh, jump in position right away, taking out Talos on that Ashe, but Milk is going to get the res on him.
This
so
is why everyone
push
gets
can
excited
continue.
when Jub plays Widowmaker.
Yeah, we don't see much 2-2-2 at all, let alone Jub's Widowmaker. And he's got that Roadhog purpled. He used his heal while he was purpled. Oh no.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, unfortunate misplay on the side of the Roadhog. And Jub just on a tear, taking everybody down at this point. Orisa kind of left by her lonesome. Dowling, of course, going to jump right on that. Although there is a Bastion coming. You were right about the pirate ship. They're going to probably try it.
So we'll see. Big thing here, too, if you're going to make this pirate ship successful, is they have to get rid of that Widowmaker because she will just pick on your healers in the back line.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Jub can actually hold them off at this point.
Yeah, he's looking for his chance to get a good angle.
So
Okay, an optimal position to get to the Bastion. There is the beat drop. Jub does go down, but it looks like the rest of the team able to push forward and push the rest of the Ferris State guys back to their spawn. Ashe about to go down, and it looks like so does Roadhog.
So good chase. At the beginning, actually, the Jub did pick off the Ana, and the Mercy was forced to go for a res on her. And that effectively just kind of killed the push because both your healers are either down or unavailable. So as soon as you get those down, like your tank line, your Bastion's not going to be able to heal for very much at all. So Jub again picking up the Hanzo. This man will not be beaten on his Widowmaker.
Yeah, he's doing very well so far. The Riptire available for Jussie, and I think I saw a Shatter on the side of Well Played sometime soon. Another snipe from Jub. 6v5. Are these guys going to dive in by chance? Save their ultis and just go for it? No, because Milk actually comes up and snags Jub. So, scary opportunity. That was a blocked Shatter on the side of Ferris. Very nicely done. But unfortunately, it looks like the Ryan's kind of alone up there. Bob coming out, though, from the side of Ferris, pretty much right on the point. Going to make things really difficult for Saints to even contest that point as it continues to get pushed.
Yep, so it looks like Saints are just going to back up here. We'll see if Jub can possibly get a pick here, and that would definitely help them stop this in its tracks. But Jub getting taken off by that Lucio is definitely a big factor, and Wellplay did get a pin, but he also got himself caught.
Yeah.
So once you lose that big beefy shield, it's tough to hold that point and hold the cart in its position.
All right, with the infrared sight, there's the Hanzo again, getting sniped right by Jub. Nicely done, but he isn't able to find another one. He's going to have to back out. Dowling right into the healing line of Ferris, taking down Ana. Nicely done. Beat drop, going to keep everyone going here in this push. Who's still here? We got Blazin on the point. Dowling, I think it might just be the two of them, unless I am mistaken. Ryan charging in. He's kind of isolated, but a good Zarya bubble going to keep him alive for now. But he drops the shield, and there goes Blazin, charges in, but he loses the mech right at the optimal time. And that's going to be the first point for Ferris State.
So unfortunately, there was a little bit of tunnel vision by Blazin there on the Diva. He did start hitting the Reinhardt when there was no healers available. He started hitting the Reinhardt shield instead of going for the Zarya, who didn't have a bubble up, who he probably could have killed. That definitely would have helped. But also a few good picks by Ferris State meant that it was going to be hard for the Saints to hold that point to begin with. And it is a long walk for a first point for any map. Junkertown's not forgiving for defenders, so.
Okay, here comes the ult from the Hanzo on the side of Ferris. It does not, okay, just fell off the side, unfortunately. So he's going to get picked off from that. Beat drop without any ults going off, but just going to use it offensively. Well Played goes down, so does Jub and Kingdom Heart. And this looks like it's going to be a good fight here on the side of Ferris State.
So it looks like Ferris State is going for more brawly comp, not necessarily looking for those picks as much. They do have the Widowmaker, but they do have a Zarya compared to the D.Va out of Saints. So that's definitely helping them in these brawls they have on point, because Zarya at full charge is going to be doing a lot more damage than the D.Va will be. D.Va is good for a lot of zoning and for catching the Zarya grab or the Hanzo ult. But if you're obviously regular just fighting, without having a second damage opportunity, it's going to be tough for the Saints to actually pull this one off.
Now that was kind of unfortunate. We saw right there Jesse a little bit out of position ahead of his tank line, and Ferris just punishing that. Nice block from Well Played, but there is a D.Va bomb coming out, but it goes on the top, so nothing really happens. Well Played is nano boosted. He's going to go on fire. Actually, we have a double nano boosted Reinhardt duel happening in the corridor. Dowling coming in for the backup as 3 of the members of Ferris are down, and that Reinhardt is extremely low. And Saints are going to pull this one out.
That was a good cleanup by the Saints. One thing I did notice was very good anti from the Ana, actually taking 3 of them down, and it was able to get the Zarya out of it. And I'm not sure if they need to use all their ults there. They're probably going to hold it by saving the nano or something of that matter. But they did regain point and they regain momentum. I do want to see if maybe Jub will switch off this Widowmaker at some point soon, as he does seem to be getting picked a lot by the enemy Widowmaker.
Okay, Grav Dragon coming in with a nice beat drop, going to keep him alive for at least a little while longer. They do fight through it. There is a shatter available for Well Played. He's going to go through the cart and actually snag the Hanzo, taking him down. That's going to force a retreat from the side of Ferris, with only the Widowmaker alive at this point. No, never mind, Zarya's there as well. But still, that should be the cleanup for the Saints.
The thing for me is I am seeing Jub is starting to lose these 1v1s against the Widowmaker. And, you know, he's confident. He's confident enough to say, you know what, I'm going to keep playing this Widowmaker, because his team is able to actually end up winning the brawls on point. So, although the Widowmaker does pick him off, she usually is in an awkward position where she can't take advantage of the pick because 2 or 3 of her teammates are already down on point. So, good on the Widowmaker. Ferris State is going to have to improve their brawling before they can actually take control of this point again.
Okay, charges in, he gets nanoed and gets slept instantly. Nicely done from the side of Ferris State. And the Shatter are going to knock down Dowling and Kingdom Heart. The 2 healers are down, but Blazin is cooking with a ton of energy. Possibly going to try and resist this push, but it's going to be unlikely, especially as Ryan comes charging in. But gets stunned, but the rest of the team does follow up. Clean this up. Looks like the 3rd point is a possibility here for the side of Ferris.
Yeah, for sure. And this is one of the tougher points to take, as I said. First point is unforgiving. Second point is kind of in the middle between attackers and defenders. Third point is definitely defender favored.
There's a scary and the Graviton right in the spawn entrance alongside the Dragon, taking out Justy as he was coming out that way as well. That's a cleanup on the side of Ferris, and that's a 3-point push.
Yeah, so Saints were doing really well in the beginning. It seems that they lost a little bit of momentum going towards the end. Jub is starting getting picked off by the enemy Widowmaker a lot. And, you know, there wasn't really a lot of dive out of the out of the side of Ferris. So I don't know about the McCree. Maybe something like Junkrat to melt some shields or something along those lines would have possibly been better. But, you know, we can always say what would have worked better could have played. But points over, they did take 3 points. It was a good hold. They only have 20 seconds left, especially that first point defense was very good from them. But they are looking to make it. They have to make it 3 points to pull out a win on this map. So looks like they might be leaning towards a pirate ship as well.
As right now, it looks like it.
Yeah. So I also want to mention it's a little bit different, especially with obviously new people are playing some new characters. So it's a little bit different. Little bit different when you're playing on stage against a new team and when you're playing as a new team. But I did notice Kingdom Heart does play a little bit differently than Jussie, where he goes for the more aggressive antis, where instead of, you know, getting the burst healing for your team, you hit 2 or 3 members on the other team with that burst damage. And it's a little bit different than the way Jussie played, where he played more around his tanks rather than going more aggressive. So I am interested to see maybe a more aggressive DPS or tanks where you can dive whoever is antied and try and burst them down before they can actually get healed. So let's say we do have a pirate ship on this map, very typical of Junkertown. As you get a great starting point, and we'll see how effective this strategy can be against what Ferris State is going to defend with.
Yeah, so it seems like most of Ferris are either all hiding up, they're waiting to jump in, and they just dive it instantly alongside the snipe from Talos, going to take down Jub Jub right away. Dowling does manage to take out the Reinhardt, which is pretty big, but it looks like the rest of the Ferris squad are cleaning up the Saints. See if we can get any more picks here by chance. Dowling fighting this Lucio here, but he's kind of surrounded. He's going to eventually go down.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a...
instant switch.
Yeah. A little bit of a misplay from St. Clair, letting their healers stagger out a bit. We'll see if Jub can get any picks with this Widow. Yeah, so and Ferris is running a double sniper comp, which is normally something you counter with dive, but I don't know, maybe just Saints aren't comfortable with their new lineup in a dive yet, or they're just thinking they can outsnipe the other team. So we'll just see if they can actually pull that off.
And Jub was popping off earlier at this exact section of Junkertown, but looks like he's going to have to try and find a different position. A nice grenade coming out to take down the Reinhardt. Two big members of Ferris taken down. Just a matter of pushing the rest out, and it looks like they're going to retreat, kind of let the Saints get some ground. Or almost to the point. Kingdom Heart does go down, and both of the healers go down. Nice sniping there from Talos, but then Jub does answer, taking them down as well. Saints just about at the point, but the Graviton, nicely done from Blazin, keeping the team alive as long as he could. He does eventually go down, but he is fully charged, but Milk going to take care of him.
Yeah. So
looks like that's it for that.
Again, the Saints lose, or Saints win on point, but they lose the sniper fight in the back. So the snipers were able to kill one of the DPS and then kill a healer before the Saints could actually push the point out to the first checkpoint out on the map. So key for them is to take care of those flanking snipers and be able to, win the sniper duels, which will effectively be able to let them have the point.
Okay, the clutch nano boost, keeping that Reinhardt alive. Saints looking like they're going to back out a bit, try and stall this out. The nice sleep from Kingdom Heart, but he does get awoken right away. But in the meantime, Jub takes down 2 with the snipes. This push doing a lot better for him.
Yeah, for sure.
They're just swinging away, and everyone is going to get cleaned up here on the side of Ferris. Looks like Kingdom Heart does eventually go down to Zarya, but Dowling does finally clean him up.
So Jub said, you know what, it's time for me to actually show them what I'm made of. Picks up a couple snipes, and when you win the sniper duel, it's a lot easier to take the point, especially with a really open map like this, where as soon as you take out the sniper, you can start hammering away at, the Reinhardt or the Zarya on point.
Okay, looks like Ferris all set up on the high ground. As soon as they round that corner, obviously going to be a very dangerous point for the Saints to try and breach. What do we have for ults? We do have the Shatter and the Nano, so I guess that can be comboed up quite nicely if they want to.
Another thing I'm surprised with is...
So go ahead.
Jub picked again. Another thing I'm surprised with is not a Zenyatta on the side of the Saints. Although, because of the double snipers, it would be very tough to run. It would also make more sense because of the Discord, as you could shred the front line instantly because of the double snipers.
All right, that was a bit of a visual glitch there. The Reinhardt does go down. Nice combo of ultimates here from the side of the Saints. Can they deal with this Widow, though? She's in the background, kind of taking pot shots at Jussie, but it looks like Jub has found her, takes them down, and it's going to be some good pushing here for the Saints, but that was a lot of ults blown.
Yeah, so it's really rock, paper, scissors. You win point, the other team wins the sniper battle, and then whoever can, whichever one wins first usually takes the point. So we'll see how Jussie uses his Deadeye here. There's been a lot of flankers coming out of Ferris State, so he will have to use it early. Wow.
Oh my goodness, he got 2 of them. I did not expect that to go through the shield, but they did pepper it in time to take down 3 total after
I'm not
Blazin.
sure if that was, I think the Saints did a really good job there. What they did was, instead of, waiting for a flanking opportunity for the ult to be used there out of the McCree, instead they pulled it early to let it charge up, and then they ran into the shield of Reinhardt, broke it down, and then as soon as it was broken, he pulled the ult and he was able to get 2
A
people
big
with it.
Graviton on the side of Ferris alongside the Dragon Strike. Completely melting, well played in the process. Nothing you can really do about that, unfortunately. Zarya fully charged here. Blazin looking to do some damage. Jub with the snipe, switching over to Hanzo, actually. A little bit closer quarters battle, maybe making him switch up a bit.
Yeah, so he's just countering the Graviton Dragon with another Graviton Dragon, seeing their own comp work against them.
Oh, he's fully, hang on a second, he's fully charged going in, but here comes the other Reinhardt, also fully charged. That shield is broken. The Shatter only hits somebody who is already knocked over, but it doesn't matter. It looks like the Saints are going to pull through with only Jub falling down. Well played coming close, but not quite. And we're right next to the full capture point, much faster than Ferris.
Yeah, so they are, this is a very tough point. Nice sleep.
Okay, hang on a second. Now we're jumping in again. Milk getting extremely low. Jussie finishing him. Rixay goes down as well on the Reinhardt. It's still being contested, though, as 2 members on the side of Ferris are there. There goes the Zenyatta. There goes Hanzo as well. There was a Moira switch, and Zarya's there as well. It doesn't matter. They get cleaned out, and that is going to be another 3-pointer, but this time for the Saints.
So I want to shout out to Kingdom Heart. You know, he's new. He's just learning the ropes. But he had some nice sleeps there, especially at the end, the sleep on, I believe, is the Zenyatta or the Zarya. That allowed them.
Oh, right as he was coming out of his spawn.
Yeah, as he was coming out of his spawn. So that was huge because you're already, you know, last second desperate trying to recapture the point. And the anti on 2 members of the Ferris stopped the Lucio from being able to speed around and from healing. So he was just basically instantly taken down. And the Zarya wasn't able to keep herself alive because she couldn't get any healing out of their second healer. So really good play by Kingdom Heart. And I'm glad to see a new member of this team showing that he's been waiting a long time for this. This is his moment.
Well, we say new, but he is technically a veteran in a sense because he was on the original Saints squad.
Technically a veteran. I'm going to call him new and improved.
I was going to say, it's new for...
New and
like,
improved.
since
How about that?
Yeah, since you've came along. New and improved, I like that. That works. The new improved Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Different setup we're getting here, though, from the side of the Saints. Going through the building and hiding literally right next to the spawn point.
Yeah. So key for this is Reinhardt charge. More than likely, he's trying to take someone off the edge with him.
Just going to suicide, you think?
It is a possibility. He's looking for the Bastion if he's there.
Okay, just instantly starts swinging and tries to catch somebody at the spawn point. The D.Va did get demech'd, unfortunately. He's blazing without his mech. But still just throws some pressure onto Ferris immediately. Reinhardt getting extremely low. Is anyone able to finish him off? There we go. Well played takes care of it. Jussie does go down, though. And was that a Ferris switch that I see? Someone raining from above? That is, in fact, well played, getting peppered off the start. But they don't exactly have something to really answer with it. Kingdom Hearts going down from a snipe from Bry on Hanzo. And he's already got the Dragon Strike, and it's coming right through the middle, taking down Blazin. Yeah, they don't have an answer for Farah right now, so they're kind of stuck just trying to take everybody else out and then take the poke damage. There's 10 seconds on the side of Ferris, but they're probably going to have to give up this point unless they have ults available. They only have the rally, so this is kind of scary. Nope, they're popping it and going right in. Beat drop is right there as well. Going to keep Blazin alive just barely. The Rhine is nano boosted, though. He's going to be doing a ton of damage. Nice kill there from Dowling. But here comes the barrage from Farah. She goes down. Jussie taking care of that one. Baby D.Va doing work on this Hanzo. And that's going to possibly be a clean sweep.
I think that would be it.
Strong hold here from the Saints, and they're going to kill out this overtime timer. They get the full hold.
So key for that, too, was keeping you... As soon as that Farah pulls her ult, D.Va has to run up there with her mech and use the Zenyatta Discord to get on her immediately. Because as soon as she stops still in the air, you can kill her basically instantly. So that was really good on them. They didn't take anyone. She didn't take anyone down with the grab barrage. They're able to shield through that and heal through that. And after that, you pretty much just need to pick off the remaining people on the enemy team. So well played by St. Clair on that defense. So we'll see if they might pull out the same strat, actually. Fair Mercy.
Yeah, we got Fair and Mercy, and then even just damage boosting a
So
Bastion
what I was gonna
is
say
scary.
before too is one of the strats used here on is pirate ship again. So what the Saints did when they went on the side was they're trying to find out when that Bastion's gonna run out, and then if the Reinhardt can charge him off the edge, then basically you essentially have, you know, a 15-second respawn timer before they come back into the game. And when they only had 50 seconds, so half your push is basically spent waiting for your Bastion to respawn.
Okay, because I was wondering for a second
Yeah.
when you said try and go for the like the martyr
Yeah,
strategy there. 'Cause,
that's
like,
one thing because it takes basically a pirate ship is so centered around that Bastion that when he's gone, it's hard to make any progress.
and they sort of tried to do the same thing, but this time Jub Jub is already on the Pharah to continue peppering that backline. Jussie takes the kill onto Talos. The Zenyatta is already down, which means Ferris should be able to pretty well run free, exception of the D.Va. And yeah, there's the D.Va trying to challenge, but he ate a ton of damage right off the start.
And
Forcing
especially
them
you don't
back
really
up.
have any hit scan, it's more just the D.Va. I don't believe they have a Zenyatta to actually counter the Fair Mercy either.
Yeah,
so it's going to be tough for them to take this down for sure.
Yeah, they did for a second, but they instantly killed it off, so it was a perfect opportunity for Jub Jub to do some damage. But they are right back here in this little corridor in between buildings. Reinhardt gets absolutely melted by Jussie. Just spray and pray for the win. But he's got some heals. Gets back into it, and he's got the ultimate as well. Tank formation, going to take down the Zarya. He's going to get into the back line. There's a barrage coming from Jub Jub as well. This looks like a fantastic fight for the side of Saints Gaming. Very promising. Two more members stuck on the point. Looking to finish him off. There goes the baby D.Va. Gonna get some big distance. There is the Lucio though. Bry is here to try and stop this and contest the point, but he is so low. He's juking, and he finally takes down the Lucio. They're right there, 3 meters away. Emergency Tracer in action. Try and harass the back line as well as contest. There's also the emergency Hammonds. The Tracer does go down. The nano boost onto the Bastion. Trying to get a bird's eye view there with the Mercy, but look at that Bastion doing work. That is going to be game 1 to the Saints.
Yeah, so that was very well played by them. They played that comp to a T. Got the Pharah harass in the back, and you got the Bastion upfront damage with the Orisa blocking for him. And they played that very, very well. They played it basically how you need to play it in order to take this point effectively and quickly.
And there's that play right at the very end, like we just saw. Jussie just tearing a hole through that entire team once nano boosted.
I have to say that nano Bastion turret sound is pretty scary. Not gonna lie.
Does he shoot faster or something?
Oh,
that sounded terrifying.
Much faster.
Yo, let's go with my Overwatch tokens. Thank you,
Nice.
computer at home.
Feels good, man. Feels good, man.
Get those tokens.
Yeah, if you don't watch Overwatch League, I recommend it. Great thing to watch. It teaches you a lot about the game, and you can watch some pros do some pretty epic stuff.
It's probably been the most fun I've had with like some sort of esports content in a good while. But anyway, off to Volskaya. This map, 2CP. That is the meme, because this can go from excellent to bad to worse in a flip of a coin, it seems like sometimes.
So very similar to Hanamura, this map basically, if you're the attacker and you can take the point near the beginning, usually ult economy is pretty good. You're almost at your ults or you're on your ults by the time you get to the second point if you can take it quickly. And you can roll that into the second point, effectively wipe them out, and leave yourself with up to like 5 or 6 minutes up on the board for another push. If you can defend, especially like first point is very tough to defend on this. It's not very forgiving. You have a long walk back. Second point on this, I'd say one of the hardest to take in the game, because the doors are right next to the point and it takes you maybe a couple seconds to actually get there. So delay is the name of the game. There's also a couple interesting strats people use on this map. So there's Symmetra teleport onto the other side. So it's tough to see from the defender's point of view, but as soon as you're an attacker, if you walk up to the left, you can teleport onto a space behind where you usually come into this map from, and you can effectively teleport your whole team there and almost catch them in a flank. So we'll see if maybe that's a strategy that Ferris State tries to implement on this first push.
A feels bad man moment for Jesse there. Okay, he finally gets on the high ground. There we go. So they're just going to play up top this building. Pretty hard spot, actually, for the Ferris squad to contest. But they're going to try and go around the side. And Blazin was about to lead the charge, but instead they go for the back line. Kind of a scary opportunity, because now the rest of the squad of Ferris are right here. And this might be scary on the side of Saints. 2 members already going down, but Talos did kind of get dropped. But looking like Dowling's the last one here. There's only one more hurt in the sidelines. Just Blazin's going to get demac'd. Yeah. This is going to be a very quick first point here for Ferris State.
They gave the order to go after the Ash, and unfortunately they weren't able to get that pick very quickly. And as soon as they weren't able to pick up that Ash kill, the rest of Ferris State just said, okay, you got 2 or 3 on Ash, we'll just send everyone else to point. So they were able to outmatch the Zarya. She was a little bit caught out in the back, and as soon when they took down that Zarya, there wasn't really much else standing in the way of them taking that point. So 6.5 minutes left on getting the second point, so they do have a lot of time to work with. We'll see if they just try and take that momentum I was talking about into the second point in the ult economy and try and take it for themselves.
All right, it looks like the Ferris squad going up top. Come on, pretty much a reverse of that first point here. When do they drop, though? And what kind of ults do they have? Because I don't think they really had to use much. Here comes the Moira ult right away. See, hop in with D.Va here. The beat drop is going to get used aggressively. The Ryan getting extremely low, but a nice bubble going to keep him alive for now. Blazin's getting pretty well lit up as Bob gets dropped, as well as the Dragon Strike. So much damage coming out from the side of Ferris. But the counter graph coming out. Well played's already down.
That's a
and there's
lot of ults.
There's sound barrier going to keep the Ferris squad alive. 2 down. Bri finally going down with Jesse's kill. Very scary spot for the Saints, as at least 3-4 members are down, and they're trying to hold on to this point. The self-destruct on the point, trying to get the guys away. Dowling getting into a pretty rough spot. Zarya taking care of him. And another Moira ult. That's a second ult coming out in this fight alone. That charges so quickly. Jesse going to go in to contest the point and hope his team can respawn and regroup quick enough. Speed boost coming out. Can they get there in time? This is a very healthy Ferris squad. And Bob's out again as well. And he technically counts as the 7th member, so he's going to hang on to this point as well, even if the rest of the squad does jump away. The emergency May on point to even stall it out a little bit more. Jesse with the monkey now jumping in, but gets taken down nice and quick. What do we have here? We have the Moira from Kingdom Heart. That is so close to being taken. Oh my god, like pixels away. But the Saints are still barely holding until they don't. Nicely done from Ferris. That's a quick 2-0.
Yeah, so they did delay for about 1.5 or 2 minutes, which was good. I think what they needed to do was maybe not force everyone, because what Ferris stated really well was there was one person on point, they took care of one person, and then they waited a couple seconds, they took care of another person, and they waited a couple seconds, took care of another person. So they were staggered out so evenly that even if you try and delay, it's still going to be so tough for you to actually delay any more than you can, because you're all spaced out evenly. So Ferris State didn't actually have control of the point until they had taken care of everyone on Saints. So what they could have done was taken, that 15-20 seconds, regrouped, give them, 1 or 2 ticks, because you have to at that point. You have to respect the fact that they have control over the point, and then take 3 or 4 members of your team, push up onto the point, and then you can start delaying from there. Because when you have 3 or 4 members, you have a lot better chance of getting at least 1 pick or 2 picks. Because as soon as you start getting those picks and they start rolling, it's a lot harder for Ferris to come back, because it's such a far walk for them to come all the way back to the point that they're almost, out of it for two pushes or 2 recoveries for the Saints compared to only 1 recovery from Ferris State. So that's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just a little bit of impatience from them, or delay as long as possible. So it is what it is. At this point, you kind of look back and say, well, what could we have done? But there's not really much they could have done at that point. They got steamrolled after that extended fight at the beginning, and then after that, it's kind of just, we'll just delay for as long as possible, and hopefully we can match it on our attack.
Yeah, that's essentially exactly why I was saying that Volskaya is just so dang volatile.
Yeah,
you take one, you could take the other right away.
It's one of those maps where momentum is so big. As soon as you get momentum in your favor on this map, it becomes a lot tougher for the opposition to control the pace of the game.
Okay, so trying to push through the corridor. Dowling gets bombed and sniped out by Bri right away. And it's going to be forcing a retreat as their big speed boost is gone. It looks like they don't lose too much more, though. Okay, just waiting to regroup. Dowling has returned to the squad, and a nice bubble there. Justy eating up a bunch of energy. And he's already at 65, and Dowling gets sniped out again, unfortunately. Nice shots from Bry.
That's going to be big. That's going to make a big difference on whether or not they can push their momentum into the second point. As of right now, ults are probably similar across both teams. A lot of them are going to be up for both teams, so it's going to make it a lot tougher for the Saints to
Yeah, so it's a very scary spot for Saints, as I think the only ult available, like you said, was just Kingdom Hearts, as his Transcendence is the only thing. Okay, speed boost going in, just going to charge right into the squad. Well played, gets the shatter last second, but I think that ult did get blocked. Transcendence going to keep the Saints alive for at least a little bit while longer, as the Moira ult on the side of Ferris is going to do some work. Here comes the Dragon Strike once again, and that's going to melt a ton of the Saints.
Yeah, so well played by Ferris State. They had patience. They waited for the Saints to blow their ults, and then as soon as as soon as that Reinhardt got pinned down, they used their Grav Dragon. Unfortunately, Blazing was not able to absorb either of those, and as you know, that thing they'll just take care of your team as a whole. So, well played by Ferris State, using their patience and waiting for Saints to use their stuff. As offenders on this, or as attackers on this map, you definitely have the onus on you to start pushing in whenever you feel like it's a good time for you.
Okay, so the Saints pushing in on the left side, avoiding conflict this time. Just need well played to get onto that point. There he goes. I think that's already a Diva demeching, unfortunately. Oh, no, maybe not. That's Kingdom Hearts going down. There's a nice grab, though, getting a couple members of this on the side of Ferris. But Bob comes down. The Shatter, nice little push there from Jub to mess up that Shatter. I don't think anybody really got taken down by it. The Blazin does get caught out of his mech and taken down. Justy goes down as well. And Bob is going to help clean up the rest as the rest of the Saints try to retreat. Looks like the healers are able to get out alive. Well played does go down at the very end. 1 minute on the clock for the Saints.
Yeah, so they are going to have quite a few ults coming up right now. They did use the bomb, and they did use the beat drop from Lucio. So those aren't going to be available to them. They really only have the Transcendence to play with at this point, and possibly the Grav if they can get it up in time. About 50% of that up right now. We'll see if they can take advantage of those tools and if they can make anything out of this.
I'm actually really nervous because I think they probably have Grav Dragon ready to go again for this fight.
So they switched to the Fair Mercy as well, which is going to be tough to do against two snipers.
I do hear the grab, and there it is. Did he eat that? He did actually eat the Dragon Strike. That's exactly the kind of play that they needed to keep themselves in this game. Jub does take down Hanzo, who was an absolute thorn in their side for that, like the beginning of this match. Let's see if Blazin can hop right onto the healer, right on top of Zenyatta. Does he take him down? He gets demeched, though. It's unfortunate on the side of the Saints. The Transcendence popped from Ferris, trying to keep him alive. I hear a shatter, and it doesn't go in the Saints' favor. Just kills getting traded off back and forth in this fight. Bob coming down to contest. He's actually not on the point. Unfortunate misplacing there from the side of Ferris. There is the Moira ult coming down, though. That might clean up the point. Is there anybody to contest? Nope, they're all in the spawn. So this map is going to go over to Ferris.
So looks like we have a game 3. And we did ask for an exciting match, and that's what we got.
Oh, we're getting it, that's for sure.
Yeah. So well played by Ferris State. They played to their advantages, and although so we got the Grav Drag. Although we did see a couple of signs of life from St. Clair, a lot of that momentum was kind of taken, especially when they tried starting those fights, and Ferris State was able to get a couple picks before the fights really started, namely on the Zenyatta and Lucio. So that effectively killed their push. And it was very well played then. A lot of patience, a lot of, waiting for ults to be used and then responding with a dragon or a Grav Dragon or a Coalescence or whatever needs to be done. So we got a game 3. Exciting stuff.
Probably going to get 3-3 comp for the Saints, it looks like. And Rialto. Now, this is a map that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Because anytime I go here, I seem to get bopped. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's quite a few places you can get bopped into. It's Venice-esque kind of map where there's a lot of rivers that you can get pushed into. But this is a map that you can use goats on. There's not like a huge amount of sight lines. There's a lot of brawling usually around the point, so a lot of teams do like to play goats on this, which looks like Saints are going to be doing that as well. So we'll see. You know, we've seen quite a few different comps out of them today, but we'll see their tried and true goats will stand the test of Ferris State, and I've seen a lot of Ferris State using their 2 DPS like a Hanzo and either an Ashe or a couple different ones for the other person, but I've seen a lot of Hanzo. So we'll see if that'll ring true again on this map. So they are setting up for a surprise attack on the point.
Okay, boosts right in. Wait a second, they didn't actually even move. They waited it out.
Yeah. So one thing about Lucio, a couple patches ago, he got a big circle around him, so you could actually see what area his healing and his speed is given in. So that kind of indicates to the other team where Lucio would be.
I don't think the enemy team can see that, though, can they? Like, we can see it if you're on the friendly side, but I don't think it's the other way around.
No? I thought they could. No, I guess
Sorry.
not.
Sorry.
But it's, yeah, makes it easier for your team, but looks like they're just trying to hold them in point here, actually. It's actually working quite well. They got a pick on the far early. We'll see if they can get any more.
Yeah, so the pharmacy just raining onto this entire Saints squad, but luckily most of it's going into a shield, and we're able to heal through it. It's interesting that the rest of the
Saints are actually right beside the spawn of Ferris State, but they aren't allowing them to move on to the point because they're going to get rushed as soon as they go on there. So it looks like Ferris State is going to go on, try and go on a point.
And the Ryan finally jumps in. The pin does not quite do what it's supposed to. And there's the big barrage coming out from the side of Milk, or from Milk from Ferris. But it looks like Saints are going to probably clean this up. There it is, the boop to finish things off. And a good first fight for Saints.
DPS. Dowling DPS. So there
Who
was a
said
couple.
support can't do damage.
Yeah, right. So there was a couple back and forth there, but a good pick on the Reinhardt really allowed them to get free reign of how that fight went. They were able to take care of that Pharah barrage, and unfortunately they did have to give up point because it's a lot closer for the attackers, but they do have the momentum, and you see a Reaper actually, which I haven't seen all day.
Oh,
and it's already paying dividends for the side of Ferris State.
yeah, it put so much pressure onto the shield that the rest of the squad just got wrecked as soon as it dropped.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, there's a big shatter.
Oh, that's going to be a huge stagger. Okay, the boop onto the Lucio, but not quite going to take him down. Ryan a little bit alone here. Nice boop, but barely onto the rail. Going to keep him alive. The Saints trying their best to turn this around. And with that Graviton, they very well made 2 very low health members of Ferris in there. But there's the Nano Boost coming in clutch once again. The backdoor Reaper coming in to try and wreck, but Well Played says, nope, not today. Takes care of it, and it looks like a very good fight on the side of Saints.
So it was a good spot, too, that they placed the card. It's almost as close as you can get to spawn point, and it looks like we got a pause here.
Blazen's computer acting up again.
It's a Windows pop-up that says like important update needs to happen now, and I just keep hitting wait an hour. Yeah, you have to. I have to update all these machines.
So it looks like
Windows update coming in to
TY Microsoft.
We have beat, we have trans. We play on cart. We play on
So it looks like we're gonna get back in the game. Just a small technical issue taken care of. Can I get a TY Windows in chat? If any of you are here and would like to express your thankfulness. But so we do see a Reaper on the side of Ferris State, which, if you didn't know, got buffed. His lifesteal on his attacks went from 30% to 50%. So definitely seen a lot of that lately. It is very effective, even more so into goats.
And there's a big grab, and then the Grav Dragon coming in clutch to once again take down 2. The Transcendence from Kingdom Heart was late, but Blazin does get the Diva Bomb to take down the Lucio at least, but that's a good shatter on the side of Ferris. Going to get Dowling and possibly get some more, as Justy was purpled. He's not going to be able to heal from that. Kingdom Heart trying to take a duel with this Zarya, and he's actually doing a pretty good job, to be honest. If it wasn't behind the shield, that could have been dangerous. Now, with 20 seconds left, they are going to be able to get this first point, and that should be a wipe.
It was well played by the Saints. The one thing that, I don't know, the Ana on the other team, so Adam, was the anti into the team. So Zenyatta did pull out his Transcendence when the Grav Dragon came through, but because of the anti, well placed by Adam from Ferris State, who wasn't able to heal any of the members of the Saints, and 3 of them got caught in that Grav Dragon, almost instantly died, even through the Transcendence. So it was unfortunate, but well played by Ferris State and allowed them to take first point on this map.
Okay, I thought the trans was late, but no, that was a very good play on the Ana's part. That shatter did not hit the mark from well played, and here comes the ult in the back line. Talos just spinning to win on top of the healers, making this a really rough push here for the Saints.
Yeah, so
defense shut down.
3 ults used there by Ferris State that are going to be down. We got almost 3 ults up for the Saints, so we'll see if they can defend the second point. Usually, a lot of teams will give the second point up more easily than the first one or the third one, just because it is a lot harder to defend against this. There's a lot more avenues for the attackers to use to get at the defenders rather than risk the stagger or the momentum shift that defending the second point will bring. They'll just give it up and they'll go for a more better opportunity at defending when this cart rounds this corner in front of us.
Okay, there's a Graviton on the side of Ferris. There is the Dragon once again. There is no defensive ult available, so that could do a ton of damage. Another nice shatter on the side of Ferris. Taking down Dowling, but he's still living. A nice counter grab gets a lot of the members of the Saints. Very scary opportunity. There's a beat drop keeping everybody alive. So far, so good for the Saints. They get the first kill onto the Reaper, but that is a nano-boosted Reinhardt. He's extremely low at this point. Nice purple there from the Ana. Kingdom Heart stuck to duel until Dowling comes in with the save, finishes him off. Well played, pretty low, so got to be careful. Nice shot from Kingdom Heart to finish off this push.
So that was a lot of ults used on both sides. More than likely, we'll have 1 or 2 ults from the Saints, 1 or 2 ults from Ferris State that are going to be left. So we'll see if they use those or if they wait for more combos to be used by the other team. For now, I think they're just going to do some Reinhardt swinging and let it be.
Hey, there's the Reaper in the back line. Justy gets a pick nice and quick, and there you go. Boops a Reinhardt to the side, gets the shatter, and that's 4 members getting caught. Well played going on a tear, taking care of everybody else, and that's a shutdown push.
So important thing there was, I believe they only used 1 ult in order to get that, so they still have, they used just the shatter, and they were able to stop that push entirely, so they still have 2 or 3 ults available to them, and they're going to have 2 more coming up soon. Ferris State looks like they're going to be at maybe 1 or 2 ults available to themselves, so we'll see if they try and use any of those combos before the ults from Saints come online.
Okay, rally into the Grav. Here's the opportunity to charge in, but the Reinhardt or the Reaper was in the back line, but holy smokes, they got wrecked. Yeah, 6 members down, none lost.
Yeah, so there was a good combo from there as well between the rally for the armor and the ults. I believe it was from, the Graviton from Jussie. So they were able to kind of run them over, lots of armor, lots of shields, lots of healing. And Ferris State will have a lot of ults available to them now for this final push. So the Saints have to be careful how they play this, because if more than... And there's Graviton.
Yeah, that's a Reaper all come down, but it was a good stun on the side of the Brigitte. There is the Transcendence keeping everybody alive through all of those ultimates. No purple to deny it. That is the Reaper boosted. Looking for the shatter. There it is. It gets them. There comes the charging Reinhardt on the side of Ferris. Dowling does get pinned in the battle. The bomb does take down Reaper, but the beat comes down to keep everybody alive. Just a matter of this fight. There's the rally onto the points. There's 2 of the Saints here, maybe 3. Brig going down. Dowling's in the background, and it looks like it's going to be a wipe on the Saints.
So now they're going to have to push this all the way in overtime. They can't lose point. They can't walk off point. So if they can get a pick or 2 on the side of the Saints, they will be able to hold this before they get the 3rd point on this map. So key here is going to be, can they build up enough ults before the point is pushed all the way to the end?
So Scary Heat could not wait to use that beat. Using it aggressively, but Milk goes down quickly. There is the Grav Dragon coming in. They knew this was coming, but unfortunately they had to blow their ults early. And this is going to be the push right to the end. 3 points for Ferris.
Yeah. So they were able to hold it till there's no time on the side of Ferris State. So if they are able to get this without having more than no time remaining on the, sorry, if they have any time remaining on the clock, they will be able to take home the win. But the challenge is, are they going to be able to push as well as Ferris State did? Lots of good ult economy use on the side of Ferris State. They weren't pulling any grabs early, or they were able to balance out their ult economy in a way that they would be able to take care of the Saints at opportune times, aka at the end of points, at the end of the game, where they were able to have that grab dragon at the end. They were able to get that Lucio ult in time to save two or three teammates, and that's why they were able to take those 3 points off of St. Clair.
Yeah, this is just so scary. They've been abusing the hell out of that Grav Dragon, and only the once was like Blazing able to eat it.
Yeah.
Which, granted, trying to predict that's hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash on them, but
it's not.
like,
I play a lot of off tank. Playing
that's hard. That's hard.
Especially when you got so many other things going on. But that's definitely something that Blazing, as a main tank, normal player switching over to off tank. That's one of the things that maybe not come to you instinctively is running into a graviton surge, because you're a main tank. You're trying to stay away from that kind of thing. But it's something that it is part of the learning curve. Something you have to learn is, playing off that Hanzo, off that Zarya, and trying to predict when they're going to throw out their ults. Because if you can eat that, that's a half or the whole Grav Dragon gone, and that your ability to do that will actually save a lot of your teammates.
Okay, so upon seeing the team, they actually switch it out. We're going to get to see some Jussie Tracer in an actual match. So this is going to be exciting for at least myself as a fellow Tracer enthusiast. Okay, well played on the Winston as well.
Looks like they're going to go for a dive comp into the double sniper. They didn't try that on the last map, and it didn't work out. It wasn't working out so well for them trying to go goats into this, so they are going to try dive. There are a lot of squishy members on the side of Ferris State, the Zenyatta, the Hanzo, and the Ashe, so it is a good idea. Trouble is, they can't take too much damage before they dive in, and it looks like they're taking quite a bit of punishment before they can even actually make it to the back line.
Yeah, Wellplayed got harassed the entire time he was up in that high ground, and it looks like they did punish it with that kill finally. Jussie is in the back line, just trying to be a little nuisance as usual, but not enough work just yet. There is a nice purple, though. He's going for the snipers right away. Jub does take down Milk. Nice kill onto the healer, but Wellplayed gets melted as well. Nano boost onto the Tracer. She's going to be doing a ton of damage. Jussie melting the tank line. Right onto the Ana, but does get purple. Does rewind to get back out of there. Pulse bomb not hitting the mark, unfortunately. Still dueling the Ana, but this is giving the Saints a ton of time to actually push this cart for free. So even though he may not be securing the kills, the pressure is enough.
So more than likely what will happen is the Tracer, Ooh, nice kills. Nice pickups.
Yeah, nicely done there. Jub finishing off the Reinhardt. Wellplayed has his opportunity to go in now right onto all the squishies. Taken on onto half. Bry almost at half as well. That's first point for the Saints. Nicely done.
So similar to what St. Clair were trying to do on defense, you kind of wait until that cart reaches the choke point, and then right as it's about to cross, you go and contest it, because you have almost a straight line from the building to the choke point to defend it. Fortunately for them, they were able to get a couple of picks right near the spawn as soon as they popped out, so that's why they were able to take the point so quickly, and gives them a lot of momentum going into the next point as well.
Oh, he's got the Dragon Blade right away. Fires it off the Nano Boost onto the Genji, and now onto Reinhardt. There is the Dragon Strike coming through, but it is not going to take any victims, but neither does the Nano Blade, so it's kind of a null and void, just use their ults and they both kind of clash, but nothing really happened. Only Kingdom Heart going down, forcing the retreat. And Jub going down at the tail end of it alongside Blazin. So that push was shut down. Nicely done from Ferris.
Yeah. So easily enough, you can negate a Nano Blade Dragon with a Transcendence. So they tried to time it right. It weren't quite on the money with when his Transcendence would be up, so that was a big reason why they pulled it. And unfortunately for them, no picks were able to get. And especially a good thing to point out too was that the Hanzo and the Ashe were right beside the Transcendence Zenyatta. So all the squishy members were mostly, you know, they were almost by themselves. Instead of being by themselves, they were by the Transcended Zenyatta, so he was able to keep them alive and not have to worry about that Nano Drag in as big of a way.
Now that was just unfortunate. Oh, hello, Talos. Up in the top. Justy did not see him, and he goes down. Nice shot. Okay, well played. Does find Ashe, though. Gets her pretty low. Okay, forced back. Well played, almost going down. That would have been an absolutely terrible stagger if that happened.
So they are trying to use this dive comp to get at the backline. The backline is doing a very good job of punishing them when they dive in and not allowing them to just jump on someone and just take them out. Their healers are running back to whoever the Winston is attacking.
Okay, Winston dives in, well played, pushing through. Bob does come out, but he's right on top of the healing line. Gets slept, but the healers are down on the side of Ferris, but the Wombo combo coming out once again from the side of Ferris. Gets a lot of kills for it. They're trading back and forth. It's still anybody's game at this point. They trade the kills there. Nice shot from Hanzo, but also a nice shot from Dowling and Bry.
So I'm going to give MVP of that fight to the Bob, 7th member. He was able to take down 2 members of the Saints, actually, and that kind of negated the fight where it was just the Winstons that were alive at the end. But if it wasn't for that, Bob definitely would have been 2 kills on the side of...
Nano boost onto well played, but the Transcendence coming out right away. Well played taking a lot of heat. Did he almost... Oh, God, I thought he almost jumped off the side. But the healers are in peril. Kingdom Heart goes down. Justy goes down. And then so does the rest of the front line. We have a minute 20 to try and get this second point. Looking scary for the Saints so far.
Yeah, so they're going to wait for their... unfortunately, they're going to have to charge up that Nano Blade very quickly. That's more than likely what they're going to be looking for, trying to get the Transcendence out of the Zenyatta and then abuse the Nano Blade in order to get a couple picks and move it forward. The good thing about this point is if they can win a fight, more than likely they'll be able to get the point and give themselves more time to get the third one.
Okay, bomb going in. It's forcing the Reinhardt to turn away. Does get the Lucio. Lucio goes down, and then Dragon Belly coming out from Jub as well. This is going to be a lot of ults used, but it's going to be a clean team wipe here from the Saints. As long as they could push this to the second point, it'll definitely be worth it.
Yeah, so good combos they used there. The Blade, even though it didn't have a nano, was able to pick off 2 members of Ferris State, as well as good bomb that got the Lucio, that got the whole thing started. So, as I said, all they needed really to do was win 1 fight to get that point. The important thing is being able to close out this third point, because again, this third point is a huge thing to take because the spawn point is very close to the payload when it finishes, so it's a lot easier for defenders to hold this third point than for attackers to actually take it.
Okay, very scary archway to try and get under. The Deadeye coming out on the side of Ferris. Going to force everybody to get out of there. That dynamite from Ashe actually hit pretty well everybody. Bob must be almost ready to come play. Dynamite coming in once again, kind of splitting everybody, and that's a lot of damage coming out from the Ashe alone. And sure enough, here comes Bob right into the flank of the Saints. Going to have free open fire on everybody. So much damage coming out from the Bob, but here comes the nano-boosted Reinhardt on the side of Saints Gaming. They're trying to push forward, trying to keep going. Bob's finally a non-factor. And then McCree's kind of out of position. The Graviton coming out from the side of Ferris as well. Lots of kills being traded back and forth. 2 on the side of Saints, make it 3. This push may be done for. Blazin about to go down as well. This is a wipe.
So they do have 3 ults to play with at this point for their last fight. It may require more than 1 push to get this to the end because of where the card is right now.
They don't have the time,
but
though.
Yeah, if they're able to win the first push, then hopefully they can win the second push and take the round. If they aren't able to do that, that will be it for this match. So it all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, let's see, because it's all We have the shatter. We have the shatter number 2. There it is, the counter shatter, but it gets blocked. It does get blocked, except for one guy in the back line. So not terrible. Bob was back, but he is slept. So he is a non-factor. Ana goes down. They better not C9 this, though. Somebody's got to contest it. They have the pressure. This nano-boosted Ryan is right in the back line. It does take him down. There's only Ash left alongside of Lucio. 4 people are on the cart, and we almost have Grav bomb. The bigger bang is available.
So similar to Ferris State, they're in overtime. They have to push this to the end. If they can win this cleanly, we'll see another set of overtime rounds. Good Graviton.
Oh, Grav right in the corner. They did capture it. The Grav did
Nice.
hold them in place. Nicely done.
So looks like we'll be getting more Overwatch. Exciting stuff. So we
This
got a
makes up for 3 weeks of no Overwatch.
So both teams will have a minute to try and push the cart as far as possible. Whichever team pushes it furthest will win the game.
We have an equivalent of a shootout. Let's
basically,
go.
it's very exciting stuff.
Who
Good
gets
way
to
to end
attack
the night.
first?
So it looks like, I believe that Ferris State will attack first. Yeah, because they have the distance showing.
Yeah, we'll know in 5 seconds. I'm just curious. They don't give you a symbol or anything to let you know, right?
Well, if you see the meter, the distance in the top, whoever has the distance, they're attacking. The other team is defending.
There you go.
So
Share
it's
the secrets.
So
This is why
if
I'm in
it's
silver.
tied, if it's tied, whichever team attacked first, they'll attack next, and then whatever if it's whoever defended first will defend.
God, overtime is always so
first.
terrifying. These little shootout scenarios. 1 minute is not a lot of time. It's like a push and a half.
So essentially on this assault map, it's whoever pushes it the furthest wins.
Yeah.
So if you can get that early momentum as a defender, you're able to get a pick or two, and you can end a push. Basically, it's the equivalent of a shootout. It's very exciting stuff. So we'll see if they're going for the same strat again. Looks like we got goats again. We'll see how that pays off for them.
Does Ferris charge out right away, though? That is the question. A speed boost does find Doomfist. Doomfist is alone, but the bubble was right on top of him, keeping him alive. There's a lot of hurt Saints at this point, but barely keeping him alive. Blazen's mech does go down. That's a nice boop from Dowling, though. Clutch taking down the Zen and the Reinhardt. And the cart is on the way. Another boop incoming, almost. Does take down the Hanzo. Dowling is on fire with these boops to start things off.
Problem with this is, though, the attackers are so close that, unfortunately,
Oh, no.
he's gonna get taken out.
She's so low. She is discorded as well, but they weren't able to take her down. Doomfist is going to take care a lot of damage, but barely getting out of there.
Yeah, so really, really well played by Dowling. Unfortunately, at this point, the spawn is so close that those people can actually recover before you can take them apart.
The Doomfist flank, there is the shatter. It doesn't really hit its mark, though. Nice shot from the Kingdom Heart to take care of it. Here comes the Graviton. Shatter gets it instantly, fires it away. That's a lot of knocked over Saints. Well played as per usual, coming in clutch with these shatters. Just got to get rid of the Zarya and then block them off. Can they finish this off? Barely
like
letting
they
them
will.
get past the
So
corner. Nicely done.
Huge shatter by Reinhardt. Huge shatter by Reinhardt to run through the opposition and hit 4 members of Ferris State, able to take them down after that shatter. And we'll see if St. Clair is up to the same challenge that Ferris State was, and see if they can win it out from
One
here.
of the huge reasons why I'm so happy that Well Played is back is those shatters. It's usually hit or miss, but if he does land it, it's like 3 or 4 members all the time.
Hit
and
or
that
miss.
makes me
I
so
guess
excited when it
He
does.
never misses, huh?
God, dang it. I was trying to avoid any TikTok references, but
I couldn't help it.
God.
Okay, so they got a minute to push it, 54 meters. Realistically, it's not really that far. If you can clean up the other team even once, usually you can push it that far. The reason that they didn't push as far as they could have, Dowling's picks were very good, was able to stagger out the Zenyatta and then stagger out the Reinhardt and then stagger out the Hanzo. So obviously it made it very, very hard for Ferris State to build up their ults. 1 minute is usually enough to build up about 75 to 100% of an ult. So the key is if they can get enough damage, enough healing in to build up to those ults, because as soon as you get those, game-changing can basically win you the game. So it all comes down to this.
Yep, got a minute left. They're not wasting time with any dive. They're just going straight into the 3-3, into the GOATS comp. Just can they get past this bridge unscathed? Do they? It doesn't look like they're actually going to pressure anything, because it's always scary trying to avoid getting booped on this bridge. And okay, they do have a Lucio this time. Dowling goes down pretty quick, but well played answers right away with that flame strike. Very scary chance as they turn the first corner. It is definitely attacker's advantage, though, like you're saying, with that spawn location so close. Ryan out of position, gets a little bit too far forward. Blazin taking a lot of heat, but does get healed up by the rest of the Saints squad.
So we got 18 seconds. This is intense. Holy
Oh,
smokes.
God. 16 seconds. That Discord was onto Hanzo. Blazin overextends just so slightly. That is a shatter from the side of Ferris, but nobody does go down. Just Blazin's mech. That is it at this point. That is so close to Transcendence. This would be clutch if they could get it. 3%. There is the grab. Can they get there? It's so close, but they do not have Transcendence in time. They do finally get it to try and harass just a little bit more, but this is actually heartbreaking. It's right there. Yeah. It's right in front of the points. Blazin trying to keep this contested as long as possible. It is going to make or break on how long he can hang in there. Gets one more tag on it. Is there any Saints there? Well played is there, but Justy going to come in last second alongside the rest of the squad. The Winston trying to buy some more time. Rowley comes out. I think that was on the side of the Saints, but it might be too late. They're staggered at this point, not able to actually come in as a group. Dowling trying his best. It's no good. Yeah. It is going to be the victory for Ferris State.
It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Well played by both teams. Closest game I've seen all season.
Very well played on the side of both squads, but
heartbreak.
Absolute heartbreaker when you're literally touching the point, but not quite enough.
So I think, honestly, the biggest reason that they took the L there was that Zinyaw was at 98% on his ult, as you could see on screen.
That was so depressing.
Unfortunately, the one button click or 1% of healing would have been able to get him that Transcendence. They would have survived that last combo, and they would have won the game. But you know, very good game. I was excited. That was fun. This fun Overwatch. That's what Overwatch is about.
Mm-hmm. Those tense situations, like I'm still shaking over here.
Yeah,
but
pretty crazy.
Unfortunate, but still absolutely exciting game. Props to Ferris State University.
For sure.
Let's go Overwatch token.